BMWs of all sizes, from the 325i to the 8 Series, to help you slip away without slipping.
Call 1-800-334-4BMW to arrange a thorough test drive.
Mutts and mutts and mutts of mutts. Mutts and mutts and mutts of mutts.
Mott's applesauce cups are wholesome snacks with an apple in every cup.
Mutts and mutts and mutts of mutts.
A rapist on the loose in sprawling East Side apartment complex at 11.
Hi, I'm Connie Chung, reporting from Portland. Tonight on Eye to Eye.
I've known Tanya since Tanya was 3 years old. I started coaching her when she was 3.
An Eye to Eye exclusive. The woman who knows Tanya Harding best, her coach, comes forward.
I know Tanya extremely well, and Tanya had nothing to do with the plot.
And for the first time on television, you'll meet Tanya's father, Al Harding, as Tanya's team hangs tough.
Do you think it would break Tanya's heart if she weren't able to go to the Olympics?
Yes, and mine.
The minute we got behind his desk, his hand would go up our dress.
We were molested. We were sexually molested by him.
How can a child molester keep teaching school for 30 years and keep committing crimes?
I never realized he'd do it to me.
An eye-to-eye investigation. Teachers wanted. Convicted sex offenders may apply.
I'm a very caring teacher.
But you have a criminal record. This isn't just my problem, my daughter's problem. It can happen to anybody.
The kids love him.
And I don't care what you
But he's making the rest of America mad.
There's one song you have, and it goes, I got a bitch that's fast, a bitch that's slow, a bitch that's a virgin, and a bitch that's a whore.
Oh.
Ice-T calls it gangster rap.
Are you telling kids that if you have a gun, you'll have strength?
He's making millions, but he's making no apologies.
From the bottom of my heart, I don't feel I'm doing nothing wrong, you know?
Oh my God! Publishers Clearinghouse.
Have you ever entered the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes?
The winning number to give away 135.
Tonight, you'll go behind the scenes to see how it really works.
We got the $10 million winner here in St. Cloud?
In the area somewhere.
And join the search for the new grand prize winner.
In about 2 hours, his life is going to change. That's it right there.
I can't believe it.
Those stories tonight on Eye to Eye.
It's Eye to Eye with Connie Chung, with correspondents Bernard Goldberg, Edie Magnus, Russ Mitchell, Roberta Baskin, and Bill Lagatuta.
Good evening. This is the skating rink in Portland where Tanya Harding's fans come every day to watch her prepare for the Olympics. The question, will she get to the Olympics, looms even larger tonight. Published reports today quote law enforcement officials as saying Harding will be charged next week with hindering prosecution in the Nancy Kerrigan investigation. Tonight, two people who have shaped Harding's life have agreed to sit down with Eye to Eye. Her father, Al, and the woman who helped take her to the top. She's been Tanya Harding's coach since Tanya was 3 years old. But the job description doesn't simply end at figure skating.
Since no one can find Tanya, are you willing to speak for her? Can you tell us how she's doing? How she's holding up? Can you fellas take care of the house when we're gone?
She knows Tanya Harding better than almost anyone else in the world.
I know Tanya. I know when she's exaggerating. I know when she's telling the truth. I know when she's feeling upset about things. She doesn't have to say anything. I know by the look of her face and her voice and how she holds her body. I know Tanya extremely well. And Tanya had nothing to do with the plot.
You believe that?
Oh, I know that. I know Tanya. Tanya's innocent. She won that.
Except for a brief appearance before reporters when the news first broke of the attack on Nancy Kerrigan, Diane Rawlinson has been silent.
Tanya's truly her own person.
But she and her husband, Dennis, a longtime advisor to Tanya, who is also one of her attorneys, are now speaking out. Do you think that Tanya Harding should go to the Olympics?
Tanya has worked all of her life to go to the Olympics. She has not been charged with a crime. I think she's a victim in this case, just like Nancy is. Of course, Nancy was attacked, and it was horrible, just incredibly unbelievable that all of this has happened.
So we'll just wait and see what...
In a very real sense, these are the people the Rawlinsons have to convince. A special committee named by the U.S. Figure Skating Association. They will meet again tomorrow and may decide Tanya Harding's fate by the weekend.
And even if they were to file charges this weekend, Tanya has 30 days to respond, which takes us past the time she'll be skating in Lillehammer. It would mean that they would not be in a position to take any sanction action against Tanya until after the Olympics.
But even if the Skating Association buys what Dennis Rawlinson is saying, it may also listen to this man, Ron Hovitt, the attorney for Tanya Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly. He says Tanya's Olympic dream already has been shattered.
She's worked very hard for years, and it was a dream both of Jeff and Tanya's. But they threw that dream away in December of last year. They threw it away when they agreed to this plot on Nancy Kerrigan.
I can understand an attorney trying to do the best for his client to clear his name, but what that has to do with whether Tanya is on the Olympic team or not, I fail to understand, and I believe that lines of propriety were crossed.
Well, the first time we took her fishing, she was 2 weeks old.
It all seems light years away from her beginnings. In his first television interview, her father, Al Harding, shared his memories of Tanya. They were close, went fishing and hunting together. Her first catch was almost as big as she was.
We went fishing and we ate what we caught. We went hunting and we ate what we shot.
Despite abject poverty, Al Harding was determined to find a way for her to compete with other skaters, even off the ice.
I thought, well, time she had a mink coat. I went and hawked my car, bought her the full-length mink coat.
You hawked your car?
Yeah.
To buy Tanya a full-length mink paws coat?
Mm-hmm.
And how old was she?
11 or 12, maybe 13.
Why'd you do that for Tanya?
Because I loved her.
You didn't have money. She was only 11 years old.
But other competitors had mink coats.
At home, though, back then there were other signs of a pattern that would shadow Tanya Harding to this day.
Tanya's mother was very controlling when Tanya was young, and she went right from that relationship to a relationship with Jeff. And I think that may be why she's so stubborn at times, because she really does want to be her own person, and she's always had a control factor. Just before Tanya and Jeff got married, I stopped teaching Tanya because I felt like I had no control over the situation.
Later, when Diane took Tanya back as a student, one condition was that Jeff stay away from Tanya's competitions. On the ice, Tanya Harding is pressing on. Diane Rawlinson says she's performing some of her most difficult jumps and spins with relative ease.
When Tanya gets to the ice, it is like she has finally found her refuge, her retreat. I believe when she gets to the ice, it's like she has finally found some shelter for a moment.
And across the country, Nancy Kerrigan skates on as well. And if all the pressure and commotion are bothering her, she didn't let it show to Greg Gumbel of CBS Sports.
I always like mysteries, so it's kind of like reading a book. You can't wait to get to the end, see what happens.
Gumbel interviewed Kerrigan for a CBS special to be broadcast this Saturday night.
Have you kept up with everything that's been happening and been reported by the newspapers and over the air out of Portland, or do you just ignore it all?
Well, it's really hard to ignore it because when I'm done skating, I go home, and after my workouts in the pool and things, I'm watching TV, and it shows up all the time, so hard to ignore.
At this stage, would you object to Tanya being on the team?
That's someone else's decision, not mine. I'm just going to compete and do what I've been working for.
And what about 13-year-old Michelle Kwan? Olympic officials are taking the unusual step of sending her to Norway as an alternate, just in case, as Tanya waits.
I go day by day. Hopefully everything's going to work out. God will take over and he'll make everything right.
Tanya's life has always been skating. You might as well, God forbid, take her legs away from her. Her whole life is the opportunity to skate in the Olympics.
Diane and Dennis Rawlinson have known Tanya Harding for a long time. And here's one of the things they know. When everything seems to be against her, she triumphs.
When things are not running smoothly, Tanya seems to skate better. When she's upset, she skates better. And right now, she's fighting for her life.
Do you think it would break Tanya's heart if she weren't able to go to the Olympics?
Yes. And mine.
Are you still planning on going to the Olympics?
Yes.
That's still a goal?
Yes.
A lot of people are saying to drop out?
I don't know. I don't listen to what other people say.
Thanks, Tanya.
Neither the Rawlinsons nor Al Harding were allowed to discuss any aspects of the criminal case. Al Harding is expected to testify soon before the Portland grand jury investigating the Kerrigan attack. Still ahead, talk about going for the gold. How about 10 million big ones, home delivered?
I'm Dave Sayer from Publishers Clearinghouse.
But next, convicted child molesters moving from school to school, an investigation you have to see to believe.
The facts in this case are just astounding that any man could remain within a school system teaching with the record that he possesses.
Only Jell-O puts the wiggle in a cup.
Did that wobble? Did that wiggle?
Nothing has the fruity wiggles and genuine jiggles of Jell-O gelatin.
Now that Jell-O put the wiggle in a cup.
Joel Siegel, Good Morning America, declares grumpy old men hysterical.
Eat my shorts.
Lemon and Mathau make movie magic.
Do the world a favor and pull your lip over your head and swallow.
Grumpy old men. Rated PG-13, now playing.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But the fire is so delightful.
And since we've no place to go,
Oh, doesn't show signs of stopping.
And I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low.
You want to talk about a great pizza?
It's from Domino's.
And it's thin.
We're talking thin.
It's crispy, crackly.
Totally crunchy.
Hey, check this out. The pieces are square. Square?
It's called Domino's. Crunchy. Thin crust.
Pizza.
It's just thin.
Great pizza! Say what?
Order a large thin crust pizza with 2 toppings.
And get any medium one-topping pizza. It's the best.
You love it.
Oh, yeah.
Something for nothing.
With free delivery.
When you call Domino's.
You're gonna love me for telling you about it.
Some people just want clean teeth, but others want to keep their teeth healthy for life. For you, Oral-B introduces the Advantage Plaque Remover. Its power tip removes plaque behind your back teeth, and its action cup is clinically proven to be highly effective against gum disease. So the Advantage has the same goal as you and your dentist, helping your permanent teeth stay that way. The new Advantage Plaque Remover, the best toothbrush ever from Oral-B, the brand more dentists use.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
Ultimate 2 Lip Sexy. Lips stay sexy all day.
I'm too sexy for my hat. Too sexy for my hat. What you think about that?
Lip Sexy from Ultimate 2. It's on America's most wanted lips. Ready Set Color is just $12.50 with any Ultimate 2 purchase at JCPenney.
It sounds outrageous, and it is. If you want a job as a UPS delivery driver or cleaning up our national parks, you have to undergo a criminal background check. But there's a job that convicted sex offenders seem to have no trouble getting, and it's probably the last job they should hold. Our investigative correspondent Roberta Baskin is in our studio in New York and has our report. Roberta?
We're talking about teachers. Half the states don't even require criminal background checks on teachers before they're hired. We turned up convicted child molesters in a number of classrooms, teachers who hid their past to get access to elementary school children.
I heard all sorts of stories about him, but I never realized he'd do it to me.
Kimberly Cerisi says she was molested in 1981.
He would always make us go stand behind his desk whenever we had a question.
Rebecca Mata says she was a victim in 1970.
And the minute we got behind his desk, his hand would go up our dress.
We were molested. We were sexually molested by him.
And Jan Gerber in 1962.
He got away with it, and up to this point still is.
They're all talking about the same man, their teacher, James Udell. In fact, all of these women who got together at our request say Udell molested them. For 30 years, Udell taught elementary school in western Michigan and used his classroom as a hunting ground.
Everyone please rise.
Recently, he went to court charged with sexual assault of 5 schoolgirls.
With his authority position, he took sexual advantage of quite a variety of students in every one of his classes.
The court is in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, if I may,
Tony Tagg is the local prosecutor in Muskegon, Michigan. When he started investigating James Udell earlier this year, he discovered Udell had a long history of sexual abuse.
Not only had there been previous allegations made, but that he had also been convicted on 2 occasions, in 1962 and in 1985.
That's right. A twice convicted sex offender doesn't go to jail. He gets another job as a teacher. It's not as unusual as you might think. We found that James Udell's case is just one example of a system that allows child molesters to move from school to school and find new victims. How did Udell get away with it for so many years? Well, once he had a valid teacher's license, nobody ever checked him out thoroughly enough to uncover his past. This is Udell's most recent job application. It doesn't even ask if he's ever been convicted of a serious crime. And why didn't parents complain? The answer is they did.
She was sitting on his lap, and he started putting his hand on her knee, and he started going up her leg. And that's when he improperly touched her.
Sandra Cerisi says Udell molested her daughter Kimberly 12 years ago while he was a teacher in Kentwood, Michigan. Cerisi said she was outraged and immediately went to school principal Robert Dudley.
He had said basically what it is that you have to prove that your daughter was molested.
What was your reaction to that?
If I was the first person to even suggest that this has happened, okay, I can understand. But then I found out later that I wasn't the first one to complain. What was the proof? The proof was these kids were coming up saying this teacher was fondling them. That should have been proof enough.
In response to the complaints, Principal Dudley sent a letter to Udell, and along with it, a list of do's and don'ts, including don't let children sit on your lap, don't hug or caress them, and don't be alone with any one child.
It was a difficult time.
Robert Dudley declined to sit down and talk with us, but we caught up with him outside his office. Is this memo to Mr. Udell the best way of dealing with these complaints from children?
And I can respond that I think we dealt with the situation as best we could at the time.
You do?
Yes.
You don't feel that you should have gone to the police or to authorities with these children's complaints?
That's correct.
I did not get the feeling from the principal of the school that he believed me. And if I could convince the principal of the school, how was I going to put my daughter through something like that? No way.
Udell remained at that school for 3 more years before transferring to another school nearby in 1984. But within months, Udell was convicted of molesting a 3rd grader there and forced to resign. The courts forbade Udell from teaching, but he only surrendered a photocopy of his teaching certificate. And in 1990, he maneuvered his way back into substitute teaching in a district 55 miles away. This spring, however, Twin Lakes school officials received an anonymous note. It read, quote, "One of the subs are touching girls. What should I do? It happened to me." Several other girls came forward, including Karen Hoover's 9-year-old daughter.
He pulled her away from the bus, told her how much he loved her, and how he really liked her a lot, and wanted to take her home with him.
All right.
James Udell declined our request for an interview. Today he was convicted of criminal sexual conduct, and he faces up to 30 years in prison. Michigan has now passed a law requiring criminal background checks on teachers, but the law only applies to new applicants and not to teachers already in the system. Besides, only 26 states require criminal background checks on teachers, and only 15 do checks nationwide. That means a teacher in trouble can often just pack up his books and move to another state. In the course of our eye-to-eye investigation, we found a number of repeat offenders who managed to hide their past convictions and find teaching jobs in other states. Some, like Charles Anderson, were convicted for molesting children several times, and he actually renewed his teaching license from prison.
A true pedophile will find a method of access to children. And as a school teacher, not only can you find children, but you can specialize in whatever grade that you want to gain access to.
Ken Lanning investigates pedophiles for the FBI.
Now, if your child gets molested by a dirty old man in a wrinkled raincoat or something like that, that's easy to deal with. But when you find some, what I call pillar of the community pedophile or molester in your midst, the general reaction is to get him out of your midst.
Case in point, James Goebel. In 1966, the Chicago schoolteacher was arrested for taking indecent liberties with a child and given court supervision. In 1972, he was convicted of the same charge. What happened? He was given probation and ordered to give up teaching, but like Udell, he worked the system. He moved to another part of the state where no one knew about his past.
There was one incident that I fell asleep in the backseat of the car.
Phyllis was a student of James Goebel in 1983 when he started teaching in northern Illinois.
And he had locked my sisters in the bathroom, and my sisters climbed out the bathroom window, came around and seen him in the car with me. Newspaper on the windows.
And you were sleeping?
Yes.
And what happened when you woke up?
My shirt was unbuttoned. My pants were down to my knees. I wonder what he ever did to me. And I'll never find out.
I'm a very caring teacher. I don't have a reputation for being a child molester.
But you have a criminal record.
Yes, a forced criminal record. I'm innocent.
James Goebel now claims he was innocent, but in 1985 he pled guilty to sexually abusing children and child pornography charges. Hundreds of nude photos were found in his home that Goebel shot through a one-way mirror. He was recently paroled after serving 8 years.
Most pedophiles spend their entire lives attempting to convince primarily themselves that they're really good people who love children and they're not sexual perverts.
I don't need counseling. It would be a waste of time because I'm not, I don't have a problem.
But you're not a pedophile?
No, no.
After Goebel was convicted, Illinois passed its own law requiring criminal background checks on teachers. But that law doesn't always work. Eye to Eye obtained a printout of convicted felons in Chicago and cross-checked that against a teacher's list. We discovered Raymond Green, a convicted sex offender who was hired to teach elementary school. Officials refused to talk with us about how Green slipped through their criminal background check. But after our investigation, the Westcott Elementary School ordered Green's resignation and removed him from the classroom.
The point here is that there is not a perfect system. That's the problem. You just do whatever you can within the system that we have. There is no magical way to determine this with total certainty.
This isn't just my problem, my daughter's problem. It can happen to anybody. So people really need to look to their state. They need to find out what their laws are. I had no idea that our laws did not protect our children.
They did nothing. They completely ignored the problem.
There's no reason for us to believe that the system won't fail us again, because I think there are still teachers out there doing the exact same thing and nothing is being done.
As a result of our computer matchup in Chicago, they're now taking action against Raymond Green to see if he violated his probation order, which specified no unsupervised contact with children. The Board of Ed could not explain how Green managed to get another teaching job, but it has lifted his teaching certificate.
Roberta, how widespread a problem is this?
Well, no one really knows, Connie, because there are no statistics. But it's interesting that in the one place where we cross-matched teachers and convicted felons, we had no trouble turning up a sex offender.
Thank you, Roberta. You may not get mail from your kids, but at least you can count on hearing from Publishers Clearinghouse as many as maybe 20 times a year. No, that's not the one with Ed McMahon. That's the other magazine sweepstakes. Chances are you just toss the packet out with the junk mail. But someone actually does win all that money. This year, Publishers Prize Patrol, a couple of guys named Todd and David, invited our Edie Magnus along to track down the big winner. As you'll see, things did not go according to plan.
Think about your daydream. Shaking like a
They get us thinking, all right.
If you won 10 million.
Are those Publishers Clearinghouse winners for real? And what's the catch?
Oh my God! Publishers Clearinghouse, the house where dreams come true.
Your odds of being invited to enter the sweepstakes are about as certain as, well, death and taxes. And millions of us write and scratch and rip and lick and rush it to the mailbox. It's all part of a multi-million-dollar campaign to get you to buy into a dream and buy a few magazines while you're at it. You must enter to win. And while you're searching for the stamp that lets you enter, you have to peruse all these other stamps offering discounted magazine subscriptions. The longer you linger over this, they figure, the more likely you'll buy. And Publishers Clearinghouse gets a huge cut of first subscriptions.
Giveaway number 135.
Wednesday, January 26th. Could this year's $10 million winner be you? Publishers Clearinghouse sure wants you to think so. David Sayer and Todd Sloan run the company's advertising and PR. They're also its prize patrol, traveling the country to deliver the cash.
We don't tell them we're coming.
The first thing that you see is this very official-looking document. And it's personalized, and it says, "You've hit the big $10 million jackpot."
We certainly find that these materials make the person feel very optimistic that I'm going to be the winner.
But before you get too optimistic, meet the competition. Every day from 8 a.m. till midnight, hundreds of thousands of entries pour into mailrooms on Long Island, New York. This isn't a house, it's a warehouse. Publishers Clearinghouse won't disclose exactly how many people enter its contests, only that it's in the tens of millions. Fewer than half order magazines.
You don't have to buy, but we'd love it if you would.
But has anybody ever won money and they haven't ordered a thing from you guys?
Yeah, last year's $10 million winner, Pam Barton, entered twice in her whole life. Never ordered anything.
We're all loose in bags. We're all over the country.
But when thousands of entries, most for people who didn't order, were found dumped along the road in Queens, New York in 1992, there were charges the contest was rigged.
We had hired a supplier, like a lot of companies would, to process some of our mail. And we found out the hard way that he wasn't doing the job we had asked him to do.
Did that hurt your credibility at all?
We've changed all of our procedures since that time. And yes, it hurt our credibility, we believe. But we've rebounded, and people have restored faith in us now, we think.
And how? The company now boasts more than $100 million in sales annually. That's a lot of dreams. And your dreams are born in a most unlikely place. An accounting firm. The winning number for this year's sweepstakes was chosen here more than 3 years ago. Tony Puja heads the operation.
In order for PCH to make the claim on their mailing piece that you may already be a winner, a number has to be selected. So we select the number at the beginning of the contest.
Tony walks the disc and all the hard copies of the winning number 3 blocks to the bank, where it's stored in a vault until the big day. Publishers Clearinghouse never sees that winning number. Its computers are separately spitting out numbers that go to you. If your number matches the numbers stored in the vault and you return your entry, you win. It's a long shot, of course, but they'll never tell you that. You're asked You know, what hotel would you like to live in? If you win your $10 million, would you like a financial advisor?
Fuel the fantasy, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And on the subject of fantasies, back at Publishers Clearinghouse, the moment has arrived. With ice and snow outside,
Somewhere warm would be nice.
our intrepid prize patrol is dreaming about sunshine and balmy breezes.
The winning number for giveaway 135 is 128150073449. The winner is Mr. Alfred Slivnik, St. Cloud, Minnesota.
We'll get that winter gear out.
Isn't that right next to International Fall?
Wow. Okay, let's do another one.
According to this, he was a non-order.
Still, Alfred Slivnik's name goes on the check, and the prize patrol makes plans to head to the upper Midwest.
Welcome to Northwest Flight 715, nonstop service to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The search for the elusive Alfred Slivnik coming up.
When you take off the weight, you feel great about yourself. You're making a difference in your life and your health. Slim Fast, it's what you're doing for you.
That was really me, and Jillian. Then I lost 50 pounds in 6 months on the Ultra Slim Fast plan. The plan is easy. A shake for breakfast, another for lunch, a sensible dinner, even candy bars as snacks.
Give us a week, we'll take off the weight. It's what you're doing for you.
When she gets close, it's no time to get in a sweat.
What guys want is clear. New Clear Arid. The new antiperspirant so clear, it's invisible.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
Get a little closer with new Clear Arid, solid and gel.
Mom said to share this with you. So if you want some, just say, Michael, I'd like a piece of pie.
Sara Lee pies are big, like homemade, so there's plenty to share.
Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee.
You know, finding the right pair of eyeglasses is a tough thing. At LensCrafters, I've got everything I need to help someone find a pair of eyeglasses that they'll really love. Whether it's lightweight lenses, comfortable fitting frames, it could be a specific shape, color, or certain price. Whatever my customers need. There you go. Oh, no, that's a better fit.
Yeah.
And we're LensCrafters. The glasses are ready in about an hour, so my customers go home happy.
Much lighter than I thought.
If I've made it easier to find the right pair, then I'm happy too.
LensCrafters, helping people see better, 1 hour at a time.
When Eye to Eye continues in a moment, he outraged the nation with Cop Killer, and his critics say he glorifies guns and violence.
The minute you pull me out of that car and you decide you're going to beat me because you got a badge, one of us is going to die, and it ain't going to be me.
But tonight, you'll get a different taste of Ice-T, who says he's getting a bum rap. Also, if your name is Alfred Slivnik, you better be home. Company's coming and bringing a present.
Tonight,
I'm having a problem making contact right now, but I enjoy it.
Sarah Jessica Parker talks golf. Oh, yeah. Plus Jerry Van Dyke and pizza tonight.
It's been 30 years since the Beatles hit America's shores. For some, it's like yesterday.
Every 20 minutes there was a Beatle bulletin.
And their music?
I think that is the reason why we're still celebrating the Beatles. They're inside of us.
The Beatles 30th, right here on Eye on America, tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung. This is CBS.
It only takes 5 seconds for him to break in. 10 seconds to take your car. But the time he'll do if he's caught will shock you. It's become a crime without punishment. Tonight, a Channel 2 News investigation. The system is letting them get away with a slap on the wrist, and you're paying the price.
Arrested about once every month.
If you're not angry yet, you will be after you see License to Steal. Tonight at 11 on Channel 2 News.
It's yours to the taking. Cold, hard cash days at your Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Your chance to save cold, hard cash on Plymouth Sundance. Now priced as low as $83.11. you get a driver's airbag, power steering, power brakes, and $1,000 cash back. But this special allotment with factory savings is going fast. So get into your Chrysler Plymouth dealer now and save cold, hard cash on Plymouth Sundance. But hurry, at this price, they won't last.
Y103.5 means today's country hits and all your familiar favorites. Turn it on now. Y103.5.
There's one newscast that blows the lid off the scams and pulls the plug on the fraud.
You know you're being investigated for that, right?
Shame on You with Arnold Diaz, only on Channel 2 News.
If I say iced tea and you say Lipton, you're probably over 40. To his fans, iced tea is the coolest rap star in America. To the cops, iced tea is too hot to handle. Censors want to water him down, parents want to banish him, and now some leaders of the black community say he's gone over the line. But we went eye to eye with Ice-T, and he insists there's a method to his madness.
These are some of the things I've been charged with. I'm sexist. I glamorize violence and crime, and I'm racist.
He calls himself OG, Original Gangster.
Gangster style. Ain't nothing but a chick.
He's one of the creators of gangster rap, in-your-face music that deals with sex, violence, and realities of the street.
We stand for three things: truth, justice, and the American way.
To kids, both black and white, he's an idol. To parents, police, and politicians, he's their worst nightmare. At home in the Hollywood Hills, Ice-T resents the talk that he's cashing in on the violence he left behind.
That's Catalina Island.
Up here, he's a family man whose home life is a far cry from the raw image he sells.
I drink milk, play video games, you know, I'm with my kids and all that kind of stuff. Right. You get, see, you're not a bad kid. You know, you have to connect this violence with this love, and it's all cool. I gotta make crime pay. I'm a victim of the criminal zone. I gotta make crime pay.
What interpretation do you think people have of your records? What do they think you're saying?
Well, if you listen to the masses or the mainstream media, their whole thing is just basically just violence and it's ignorant music with no substance.
Murders and guns and...
Yeah, it's stupid. There's one side of me that says, hey, don't care about them because those people don't understand the music, because there's other people that say, this Ice, you're telling it how it is, you know? You're saying the real.
The real he raps about is played out on streets like these in South Central Los Angeles. Ice-T came here as a teenager after both of his parents died back east. He ran with gangs and started hustling.
I used to do everything, rob, you know, burglarize, do jewelry store heists, GTA, grand theft.
Young Tracy Marrow became Ice-T. He took his street name from a pimp.
Sold dope, pimp, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards.
Are you proud of that?
Nah, not proud of it, but it kept me alive to be able to be here to tell these kids not to do it.
Gangs like the Crips and the Bloods rule these neighborhoods, and life can end in a second. Have you lost a lot of friends?
Nearly half of my friends have died.
When I die, there'll be bullets and gun smoke. You don't like my lifestyle, you. I'm rolling with the New Jack crew.
His harsh lyrics and tough guy image helped to make Ice-T a hit with the kids in the hood. But 2 years ago, when he recorded the rock song Cop Killer, mainstream America was listening in. It didn't like what it heard.
It is sick. Cop Killer. It's better you than me. It was a protest record that was aimed at brutal police.
What about the line that says, my adrenaline's pumping, I got my stereo bumping, I'm about to kill me something, a pig stopped me for nothing?
For nothing.
Doesn't that sound like an encouragement to kill a cop?
Nope. That song was just me saying to them, As long as you're within the law, then there's no problem. But the minute you pull me out of that car and you decide you're going to beat me because you got a badge, one of us is going to die, and it ain't going to be me.
The song created a backlash. Police protested, and Ice-T eventually removed Cop Killer from his album, but not before it left its mark on America's youth.
With Cop Killer, we sent this message right into the white homes, you know. Kids were not only listening to the music, but they're becoming allies, and I think that's what really scared white America, even more than the words.
Cop Killer is now history. The debate over Ice-T's lyrics is anything but. There's one song you have, and it goes, I got a bitch that's fast, a bitch that's slow, a bitch that's a virgin, and a bitch that's a whore.
Ho.
Oh, sorry. Some women are offended by that.
Yeah, they're offended by the word bitch.
Yeah.
A bitch is somebody who feels the world revolves around them for a particular reason. I could be a bitch, you know. I wrote a record called Some of Y'all Niggas is Bitches Too.
When you use that kind of language, nigger or bitch, are you reinforcing the kind of stereotype that white America sees?
I don't care about white America. No matter what we say or do, in the eyes of a racist person, we'll always be a nigger, you know? So therefore, I'm gonna take this name, wear it like a badge of honor.
Damn right I'm a nigga, and I don't care what you are, cause I'm a capital N-I-double-G-E-R. Black people might get mad cause they don't see that they're looked upon as a nigga just like me. I'm a nigga.
His gangster image has made Ice-T notorious, but it has also made him rich. Every record has gone gold. And while Hollywood calls him controversial, Hollywood keeps calling. His first major movie role was in New Jack City. He played, would you believe, an undercover cop.
He's back, goddammit, I'm a cop! Action, guys.
He's said to be getting $750,000 for his next film, Surviving the Game, due out in April. There's another movie in production, and his book, The Ice Opinion, has just been published. Even the BBC has called.
Welcome to Ice-T's Guide to Blaxploitation Films.
Here, he parodies a pimp to host a documentary on black movies from the 70s. Are you a millionaire? Mm-hmm. Multi-millionaire?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a little idea how multi?
IRS, no. I'm multi enough to know it's not good to talk about money.
As Ice-T's currency rises, so do the voices against him.
We will not stand for the vile
Angered by the epidemic of black-on-black crime, they're calling on all gangster rappers to stop the music.
If you listen to any of the violent characters I portray, they all end up dead or in jail. I could never really make it glorified and glamorous because it's not.
But you know you have.
No, I haven't. I'm telling them, yo, this is something that looks so attractive, but you don't want to get in it.
You have an album cover of you and your girlfriend, Darlene, and then on the other side, you all have guns. What kind of message is that sending?
Strength.
Are you telling kids that if you have a gun, you'll have strength?
Yeah, have you ever seen a military poster? When I show a picture of myself on the cover with a gun, for all you know, I'm doing that because I know the hardcore kids is going to say, yo, let's get that album. Now, once I get them onto my album, I can hit them with something that they might not be willing to listen to. I use this particular technique. It's like a bait and switch.
10 brothers died in a stupid homicidal binge. Cause whenever someone dies, nobody wins. But this drama you'll never hear a word of, cause all the paper's gonna read is gang murder.
But you know, if a kid is really young and impressionable and simply looking at the images and isn't quite deep enough to get your underlying message,
right,
then you've missed your point.
Them kids do not want no soft role model. And I don't care how you want to claim I'm being tough, all that. Nobody is talking to the ghetto.
Ice-T is putting his money where his mouth is.
And I helped him buy the building.
He helped a friend by backing this body shop.
We started our own clothing line.
And he owns another small business in the community.
This is our logo, OGG.
And OGG stands for?
Original Gangster Gear. It's like close to the Gap. It's like my version of the Gap.
You always say that you employ guys who have been in trouble.
Yeah.
What were you in prison for?
Tax evasion. I like to call it no. I was selling marijuana.
Ain't nothing more important now than getting these books open.
And the message he delivers to the kids in the hood is to be economically self-sufficient.
So
legally.
The only way we're going to be free is to live wherever we want to do. And the only way we can do that is economically. And the only way to do it economically is to be able to make the money legit so that you can claim it.
While those who know him get to see a different side of Ice-T, the rest of the world can only judge him by his music. If the kids look at your success, that's one thing. But if they look at you as this original gangster, look at your image as a tough guy, that could be the wrong image, couldn't it?
Right. But it's important that they respect me for that, for them to listen to the positive side of me. I feel what I'm doing is right. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I don't feel I'm doing nothing wrong.
Do you think that you end up having to justify your music more than other artists do?
Oh, most definitely. Do you think a country western singer would spend time telling America about country western music?
Yeah.
Country western is rap music, but it's coming from the country perspective.
Oh, my husband left me and my dog died.
That's what I said. My girl, the bitch ran out and took my dog and my vet. I'm a killer. Same thing. This is country music, and if you don't like it, to hell with you.
In his book, Ice-T compares himself to novelist Stephen King. As he puts it, Stephen King writes about the dark side of life, and so do I. The only difference is, I don't make up my subjects. Now, getting back to the hunt for the grand prize sweepstakes winner, Edie Magnus and the search team are just miles away from Alfred Slivnik's front door.
It's Friday afternoon in frigid Minnesota, and Dave Sayer and Todd Sloan of the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol are on a reconnaissance mission.
Like right now we're in downtown St. Cloud, and we're going to be heading out to scope out the location of our newest $10 million winner, see what it looks like before we come back to make the big award.
He's going to say, is this for real? And then he's going to I'll bet you anything he's going to say that.
The company has its own camera crew to film the big giveaway. Today's tender moment will be tomorrow's Publishers Clearinghouse commercial.
I think that's at 4110, in fact. Can you see under the door? That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it right there.
I can't believe it.
And the garage is open and there's cars in the driveway, so that's a good sign. It's going to be easy.
The last time we had $1 million prize, we checked out the house and there were a couple of cars there and lots of signs of life, and we said, wow, let's go. Hurry up. Let's get dressed. Let's get the flowers and everything. Get some roses. I'd like a dozen red roses.
Okay. How long will it take?
Oh, that's going to take about 10 minutes.
So we moved as fast as we could.
We're out of time. It's getting dark, so someone's going to get the champagne right now. We'll show you the bottles.
And we went back there, and everything was gone. The cars were gone. The house was locked up like a drum.
As daylight fades, so does their calm.
Are you waiting for the car wash, ma'am? We're in a real big rush. We're going to give somebody $10 million right around here.
Oh, yeah?
I tell you what, I'll give you $10 if we can go ahead of you in the car wash.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So much for the element of surprise. How many people will she tell before they reach Alfred Slivnik?
So
let's hope those cars are still there.
Let's just stay over here for a second. Turn in. No answer now. Can't believe they're not going to be home. Just sit here for 1 second. They're not home now.
The Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol has been located here in St. Cloud.
So now St. Cloud knows there's a winner. In fact, all of America knows, as this spot runs on national TV.
Here's the winning number, and the Prize Patrol could knock on your door any minute.
But all is quiet on Otley Street. Alfred, where are you? We'll find out in just a few minutes.
Time is running out for your family to own the best-selling video of all time, Disney smash hit Aladdin on video. After April, Disney will no longer be selling this fabulous treasure.
I'm out of here!
So hurry, buy Aladdin on video while supplies last.
When we heard there's a hot cereal with crunch, we said great. But how? Then we tried Grape Nuts cooked hot. Just add milk and pop it in the microwave.
60 seconds for a little crunch.
I want a big crunch.
30 seconds for a big crunch.
We thought all hot cereals were the same.
Mushy.
Yeah.
But not Grape Nuts cooked hot. All that warm goodness plus that hearty, nutty crunch make it taste so different. so good.
Now Mom's getting mushy.
Yeah.
Discover Grape Nut cereal cooked hot. Finally, a hot cereal with crunch.
Hi, Alex. Oh, nice cold. Oh, the pressure. Even my sinuses hurt.
Comes with the territory. You know, when you have a cold, it isn't always just up here. Sinuses can get congested, too. Well, that's why there's Advil Cold and Sinus. Doctors like its ingredients. One for aches, fever, sore throat pain. Another for sinus congestion. It's all connected.
Advil Cold and Sinus. Advanced formula for the cold season.
There was only one road in, and one word of advice. Make it before the snow comes, or you might not make it at all. But at the end of that road was California, where grapes grew as big as your fist, and trees touched the clouds. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and every day with every car nationwide, only Alamo gives you all those miles for free, including one California road you should still get down before the snow comes.
Until now, making an authentic Chinese stir-fry dinner wasn't easy.
Nice shot, Elliot.
Introducing Tyson Stir-Fry Kits. Everything you need to make a delicious stir-fry dinner in just minutes. New stir-fry kits from Tyson.
It started with an innocent kiss.
Zach, is this true?
Now a child stands accused.
I have to take steps to fight sexual misconduct.
Who's to blame? Picket fences Friday.
Nancy Kerrigan returns to the ice in her first performance since the incident. Is she ready to compete? Meet her up close, Saturday night on CBS.
A book editor's losing his mind.
He heard voices.
Sending him over the edge.
Someone in the house. 911.
Will Jessica be the next to fall? An all-new Murder, She Wrote. Then, can passion survive 29 years of marriage?
Come on, little girl. I'll buy you a package of Big News.
Joanne Woodward and James Garner in Hallmark Hall of Fame's Breathing Lessons, Sunday.
When we left Edie Magnus and the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol a moment ago, they were stranded outside in the cold, waiting for grand prize winner Alfred Slivnik to come home. Let's see what happens.
Good morning. As early as this morning, a St. Cloud resident could be $10 million richer, according to a
It's Saturday morning in St. Cloud, and the Prize Patrol searching for Mr. Slivnik finally gets a break.
We put in a phone call this morning and someone answered the phone. We think they're there, so we're going to go for it.
Is Albert here? Is Alfred here?
Yes.
Alfred?
Yes.
I'm Dave Sayer from Publishers Clearinghouse. Oh. Guess what?
You just won $10 million in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes.
Isn't that something?
Oh, my good Lord.
We don't have to worry anymore.
Alfred Slivnik and his wife Diane farmed for 30 years until his arthritis acted up. Now he's a janitor. She works in a hospital, but not for long.
How about your husband? Would you like him to quit?
Yeah. He can retire.
So can I.
But with some worries gone, come new ones. Maybe there's a price to being rich and famous.
It's scary. It's scary. Yeah, I'm worried now.
What about it?
Well, if somebody might try and pick up one of the grandchildren.
Alfred and Diane have 3 grandchildren, a daughter, a son, and a foster son. So where were they last night anyway?
You were at the casino?
Well, you won.
Did you win?
No, we lost everything.
How much did you lose?
I don't know what it was, $150, I'll be honest.
Alfred, it turns out, has been gambling on Publishers Clearinghouse for years, sending in his sweepstakes entries since 1977. The Slivniks never saved any money. Now they have an instant nest egg, a Prize Patrol down payment of $100,000.
$100 check to me was big.
The only bill we've got is dentist.
I guess you can pay the dentist now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll be calling every day. He'll want me to come in there and clean my teeth.
You'll want them clean, Alfred. To smile for the cameras. The party's courtesy of Publishers Clearinghouse, diligently capturing the moment.
You just won $10 million in the Clearinghouse
And quickly turning it around. Work on the next commercial, starring the Slivniks, started this morning.
Thank you.
Nice guys do finish first sometimes. The Slivniks are lovely, salt-of-the-earth people. They are not exactly millionaires, however. Instead of getting $10 million all at once, They get $500,000 this year and then $250,000 per year until the 30th year when they get a lump sum of nearly $3 million. By that time, Alfred will be 94. Still, Connie, it's not bad for a few 29-cent stamps.
Guess not. Thanks, Edie. We'll be back in a moment.
Coming up at 11, tragic crossing. Would a little boy still be alive if he didn't have to cross the street alone to get to school? Then Farrakhan fallout continues. He's finally responding to fury over his AIDS controversial remarks. But are Farrakhan's comments just fueling more angry flames? Next at 11 on Channel 2 News.
You want to talk about a great pizza?
It's from Domino's.
And it's thin.
We're talking thin.
It's crispy, crackly.
Totally crunchy.
Hey, check this out. The pieces are square. Square?
It's called Domino's. Crunchy, thin crust.
Pizza.
It's get thin.
Free pizza! Say what?
Order a large thin crust pizza with 2 toppings.
And get any medium 1-topping pizza.
Free!
It's the best.
You love it.
Oh, yeah.
Something for nothing. With free delivery.
When you call Domino's. You're going to love me for telling you about it.
You want to keep your teeth for life, and Oral-B wants to help. Introducing Oral-B Anti-Plaque Rinse. It contains an active ingredient that kills 90% of plaque bacteria on contact. Plaque that brushing and flossing may leave behind, which means it has the same goal as you and your dentist, making sure your permanent teeth stay that way. New natural mint-flavored anti-plaque rinse from Oral-B. Makers of the toothbrush more dentists use.
You've got a sore throat, a painful cough, a stuffy nose. Give them the trademarked vapor action of Hall's Mentholyptus cough tablets and feel better fast. Hall's Vapor Action, only in the halls of medicine.
Hey, it's a huge Ace Dollar Day sale. There are values everywhere you look.
Brushes and bulbs.
Cords and caulks.
Glue and gloves.
And more for just $1 each.
So look into the Ace Dollar Day sale today. You'll see so many ways to save.
Oh, I see you're drinking new Carnation Instant Breakfast.
Well, that's what you call it. I call it a chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, but you are getting all the nutrition you need in the morning.
I get a breakfast that tastes great.
You get a low-fat breakfast with 19 vitamins and minerals.
I get creamy milk chocolate. I get cafe mocha. I get...
Right, but see, we're trying to tell people how nutritious new Carnation Instant Breakfast is. It has no preservatives or artificial flavors.
Maybe that's why it tastes so good?
Yeah.
Now here's a look ahead at next week's Eye to Eye. They are America's most troubled children, and their parents were desperate.
My child is going to die.
Until they found a controversial program that prescribed punishment.
Hardly even leaves a mark.
I think this program is a godsend.
Not only have they given my son a life, they've given me a life.
But now there are allegations that it's not just treatment, it's torture.
His program is not the answer. I learned the hard way.
An eye-to-eye investigation. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see Eye to Eye at a special time again next Thursday, 10 o'clock, 9 Central. And I'll see you tomorrow night with Dan Rather on the CBS Evening News. Good night, everyone.
Late night fun is just ahead with Dave and his guests, Sarah Jessica Parker, Jerry Van Dyke, and a whole lot more, all on tonight's Late Show with David Letterman. This is Mark McEwen. Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Now get ready for your local news.
For a transcript of this program, send $5 to Eye Transcripts, Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039, or call 1-800-777-TEXT. To order a VHS cassette of tonight's broadcast, call 1-800-762-9990.
Experience CBS News.
It's Double Mystery Friday when college co-eds are blackmailed.
Please don't do this.
And the payoff is murder. He believes you killed her. Diagnosis murder. Then America's favorite talk show host gets roasted to death.
That's your murder weapon.
And all the celebrities are suspects.
Shocking.
Burke's Law after Diagnosis Murder Friday. An Army's deadly secret
You're killing innocent families.
forces Dr. Quinn to turn spy.
I'm gonna attack your camp at dawn.
An all-new Dr. Quinn, Saturday.